Welcome, Hoarders. Today we're going to be playing some more Grand Theft Auto 5. In this testing Tuesday, we are going to be testing the Ocelot Swinger. As you can see, this is the left side is all my Aston Martins, and the right side is all of my Jaguars. You got the XJ13, and then back here we got the XJ13, which is the Swinger that we will be testing today. I'll throw a picture up of the one I tried to base it on. I couldn't get the rims exactly like, I couldn't get the rims exactly right with what the picture had, and I also couldn't get the engine to look the same. Mostly because it doesn't look the same for the engine at all for some reason. There's no setting really, or no customization that lets you get it to look the way the picture has it, because I try to base all of my cars off of the real life versions as much as I can. I already knew about this car. I mentioned it in an earlier video. Some reason I thought this car, like, I knew when this car was added to the game, I knew like I saw the car before, but some reason I called it a Jaguar. A Jaguar, what did I say? Jaguar D-type, which I'm not even sure if it is a thing. Unless that is the one where it has like a big fin in the middle and the driver's seat's on one side. I don't know, I might be wrong. I'll have to look that up. But I do love this car. It has a couple of bad faults, but either way, I am not getting rid of this. I will be doing a video somewhat soon after this, maybe the same day. Maybe I'll put out two in the same day, or maybe the day after, because I need to get rid of my Chimera, like the bike, the trike bike, which I fucking hate. It is so hard to drive that thing, and because it's hard to drive, I don't use it. And it's kind of annoying. It pops wheelies pretty good, but that's about it. But to get back on track with the Swinger, I do like the car. I kind of wish it didn't have like the T-top style roof. I wish it had the roof on the real vehicle, which wouldn't have the bar in the middle. It would just be completely topless. There's probably a version with a full roof, I imagine. The other thing that I couldn't get was the exhaust pipes. On the real thing, stock come separated on the left and right side instead of all in the middle. Every option on this game for it was both of them in the middle. I don't really like that, but the big fault with the vehicle, why can't I talk anymore? I wanted to say the big fault with the vehicle is because it's such a big engine and it's in the rear, it slides around like a bitch. Like, if you take a turn too hard, you're gonna do a 360 immediately. And it's not really fun when that happens. I'm sure I can get through the test pretty easily without doing it. You just need to not force it too much. Because if you give it too much, it will get out of hand a bit. Which I haven't had too many problems with, because I've had a couple days to mess around with this car. So it should be pretty good to get along with, I guess, if I had to put it that way. But can't really think of much more about this other than that. It doesn't go extremely fast. Handling is partially part of the problem with it spinning around. The suspension's surprisingly light. It doesn't really hit that hard when you land. The jumping, when you leave the ground, it kind of messes you up a little bit. Try to, like that, it throws you kind of to the side, but that might also be the weight distribution. I think the big problem with this car is just the weight distribution. I don't know if it's like that in real life. I'm thinking that the engine is just too far back. It might need to come forward more, but it's the way the car is. It's the history. They made it off of a real life car, which is the point of this car, and I love it. I did see, when I was looking up for this car, because I knew it was a Jaguar before I even bought it, so I looked up the car, and I go to this, like, I should actually start including it on all of the Testing Tuesday videos, just so you guys can read. Maybe I will do that, start posting the link for the car and the information about it, but it says, like, what games it was in. It's mostly just, like, a GTA fan base made thing, and I looked up the car, and it said the Jaguar XJ13, which is, once I saw that, I was like, that must be what it was that I was thinking of, which it was. But I saw, I'm not going to name the YouTuber because I'll probably get a lot of backlash for it, but I find this annoying. This is why I don't like these type of YouTubers. They try to get the information out way too early on the car. And when I looked up this car, I saw a YouTube video with it had the Ocelot Swinger in the title, but it wasn't the Ocelot Swinger that was in the title. It's a car that has never been added to the game yet, which in real life is a Jaguar E-Type. And I was once subscribed to this person. They do solely pretty much GTA videos, and I find it really annoying that they try to get the information out before it's even added to the game, which ends up misleading you, and then it's not even what was added to the game. If they added a Jaguar E-Type, I would be fucking psyched, because I love that car. Have to have it red and all that. But why do that? You end up getting stuff wrong, and then you don't take the video down. If I did a whole video like that, I would at least change what the actual, like, at least change the thumbnail, for God's sakes, instead of getting, like, a mod of a messed up car that someone else made. I didn't even watch the video. I didn't even bother to watch it because it had it in the title, but it wasn't even the right car. Okay, now that that's off, that was just something I had to rant a little bit about. But let's head on over to the test track and see what we can get with this bad boy. In case you guys were wondering, this is under the Sports Classic category. Sometimes I don't mention that, because I'm dumb. Okay. Hurry up, my boy. I'm gonna try to push it to its absolute limit without making it go too squirrely, because I'm kind of worried this is one of the more difficult cars to drive. Not nearly as difficult as the Chimera. The problem with the Chimera is that when you're in the air, you can't control it, which is one of the reasons I really don't want to have it anymore. And there's other two-wheeled bikes that I'd rather have. Oh, brakes are actually pretty damn good in this. Didn't expect them to be that good. I did think about making this into the race car version that they have of it, but I just couldn't get myself to do that. I'm more of like I like fully restored vehicle looks more than, like, either fully restored or original looking. I'm not a fan of adding decals to stuff, unless it was something like As far as I know, the Shelby Daytona was never made to be a public car. I think it was strictly for racing. Which, a car like that, if they added it to the game and you had to get the certain decals, I would definitely put the decals on it, which I will have a picture up for that car. That is one I would love to see them add to the game. What I'd love to see them add, because they have this car in the game, which is kind of in the same category as the Shelby Daytona. They should do some kind of update with, like, fully classic race cars. I mean, they do have the Shelby Cobra in here. Okay, yeah. Okay, what we get? We got, humana, 2 minutes, 13.702 seconds. That seems like a fairly quick time. I think it's going to be about in the middle, about page 5 or 6, but let's head on over to the leaderboard and see where we placed. As you can see, the Ocelot Swinger finished in 29th place at 2 minutes, 13.702 seconds, right behind the Cheetah Classic. You can also see that it beat the Pfister Comet, which is actually very impressive to me that the car did that well. Considering the way that it handles, I wasn't expecting it to be that great. But if you can drive it and keep it under control, like preventing it from doing like a 360 or a 180 or whatever it wants to do, if you can prevent it from doing that, you can go fairly quick. Which, this is the thing that I love. I love when they add a car that is just beautiful, but it also handles great and it's not slow. That's just an added benefit. Like, there's some cars that I love the way they look, but they're never going to be fast. Like the Surfer, which is based loosely on a Volkswagen bus. I like how it looks, but obviously that's never going to go quick. It's easily probably one of the slowest vehicles in the game. But what they did with the Ocelot Swinger is nice, because it's kind of like a bred race car. I'm not sure, like, the origins, like if the whole reason the car was made was for races. I do know that they've used them in races, but I see why they would use them in races, because it's fairly quick, which is probably why they added it to the game. But now let's head on over to the drag track and see what we can get over there with it. Okay, let's see what we can get on this one. Yeah, when I first saw the front of it, I knew what this was, and I was, like, really excited. This is the first time in a while that they've added a good car. Like, one that looks absolutely beautiful. And it's not exactly like the real-life version. The hood has a lot more slats in it than this. I couldn't really find a hood either that was exactly like I wanted it to be, but it's pretty damn close, considering copyright issues or legal issues. Okay, we got 24.824 seconds. That's not a great time, I can already tell, but let's head on over the leaderboard and see where we placed. Again, the Ocelot Swinger did very good, finishing in 29th place with 24.824 seconds. I don't remember what vehicle it pushed into 30th place, but the vehicle was only 24.826. So this just beat that one. I wish I could remember what one it was, but obviously for it to beat to lose against the Yosemite is pretty bad. I'm guessing, yeah, judging by the list of other vehicles that are on there, the Shafter V12 is a fairly quick sports car, And the Dubashi 770 is pretty quick too. The Vigilante, that didn't feel that fast when you weren't using the rocket. Then there's the Rapid GT. None of those... The Hustler's not that quick of a car, neither is the Yosemite, but they still beat this, which is quite surprising to me, to be honest. So obviously, top speed isn't great on this car. I guess the big thing that saves it is the handling if you can drive the car. If you can't control the handling, this is not the car for you. Which it surprised me when I first drove it, because it just, you could not handle it at all. Like when I just first tried it, because the way, if you hit a bump, once the front wheels go off the ground, it's okay, but once the back ones go up, it tends to throw you sideways a bit, so you have to correct it in time before anything happens. Please post in the comments down below a vehicle you'd like to see me test in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. And if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to watch one of my previous, next, and related videos, and don't forget to check out my other social medias in the description down below.